Hey guys, I've been getting into MK11 again now they just dropped legal customs and a few new characters. I know I haven't made an MK11 video in like years, but I figure at least a few people sub to me play it, and if I'm doing the research anyway, I might as well share it. I don't know how many more videos I'll do, maybe just this one, or maybe a few more with Rain or Rambo or other characters I'm interested in, but I doubt I'll ever cover the whole cast. I might also do a mechanical video about down ones or something like that, but no promises. Mileena was my main in MK9 and MKX, so I figured I'd look at her first. Mileena's got a pretty nice variety of basic attacks, I guess. Stand 1 is 8 frame startup, and leads to her go-to high confirm. Down 1 is 7 frame startup. However, they're both seriously lacking in range. At the very least, down 1 goes farther than its animation suggests. Down 3 has much more range as a poke and interrupt, but it's a bit slower at 12 frames, and naturally it can't be used for confirming. Down 4 has a nice balance, at 9 frame startup with okay range, so it's a pretty good poke. To compensate for her lack of range on her fast high attacks, she has towards 1, which takes a big step forward. It's 9 frame startup, so very fast for this kind of range, but it is still a high. Unfortunately, the string it leads into has no special cancel, even into air specials. It's helpful to fix her punishing game, since Stam 1 often fails to reach and punishes. But if you want a big conversion, you have to cancel it right away. Stand 2 is 2 hits. It's 13 frame startup, high for the first hit, unsafe on block, and only barely has more range than her stand 1. The string it goes into seems alright anyway. Her fastest confirmable mid is her 10 frame back 1, which is incredibly fast for a mid attack. Again, this is compensating a serious lack of range, but it's still very abusable. If you want something with good range that can hit crouching opponents, your best bet is probably her 18 frame towards 4. Or her 17 frame towards 2, which is actually a low. Both lead to 2 button strings which don't cancel. So you have to cancel right away if you want damage. The towards 4 is safe and has 2 hits, so you can use it as a standalone confirm. Back 2 is an overhead. It's 25 frame startup, so pretty reactable, but the range is good and it's safe and less flawless blocked. It knocks down immediately, so no combos, but it still has good synergy with their lows naturally. Mileena has one more low on back 3. It's slightly faster than towards 2, but has less range and is more unsafe. Like towards 2, the string out of it is only 2 buttons. And the second hit doesn't cancel, so if you want a low starter, you have to cancel immediately. The only other notable attack she has is stand 4, which is 70 damage and cancels. Your combo options are limited due to the knockdown. And canceling from strings is generally stronger even with the added scaling. Both of her hop attacks have incredibly short range, with similar startup and similar punish windows. I think hop punch is a bit better because it goes farther. 1-1 is Mileena's general high confirm. It's high mid and only -2 on block, so you couldn't ask for a much better high string than this. On hit, it easily converts into any combo. 1-1-2 adds on a mid ender, but it's unsafe, uncancelable, not great in juggles, and it does no more damage than a special cancel. So I'd say you should mostly never use this, with one exception I'll mention later. Back 1-1 is Mileena's mid confirm. Again, this starts from a 10 frame attack and it's safe on block, so this is a spectacular confirm. Once again, you can end in any of Mileena's special moves. The damage is pretty nice, and it's quite good in juggles. You've got 2 different enders. The first is back 1-1-2, which ends in a safe high hit which can catch people trying to do reversal buttons on your minus frames. The string is pretty strong in juggles and works reliably. It's faster than canceling to Sai or roll, which can occasionally matter. The damage is the same as the Sai cancel when both work. If the opponent's blocking, they can neutral duck the final hit and punish you, so it's not free. The alternate ender is back 1-1-4. The 4 is a mid, so it catches people trying to neutral duck the 2-ender. But it's unsafe on block, so I say you should usually use neither ender when confirming, and instead just do back 1-1 by itself. This string is usually inferior to back 1-1-2 in juggles, but the catch is that it has a crushing blow. It activates if the final hit makes the combo 7 hits or more. This is fairly easy for Mileena. Towards 1-2 is Mileena's string from her advancing high. Despite how it appears, it's safe on block, but you can't special cancel it. The strongest ender is the full string, towards 1-2-4. This is an overhead, but it's easy to react to the string, and it's very unsafe on block, so only do it on hit. Even though there's no special cancel anywhere, the fact that it's Mileena's highest damage from towards 1 makes it very useful in many juggles. Two, 3-3 is an interesting sequence. It's 4 hits and safe, and cancels into specials. It's slightly stronger than back 1-1 in short combos. But in longer combos, the increased scaling makes them even out. It's not great in juggles. And the starter isn't as good as back 1-1, so it's mostly good for starting meterless punishes, I think. 2-3-3-4 adds a final hit that's actually plus on block, but it's a high so it can be neutral ducked. The string is extremely reactable, so once people know you can duck this hit, I think they'll do it every time. Towards 2-3 is Mileena's string from her low punch. It's really unsafe on block and doesn't confirm, so if you're gonna YOLO cancel, you'd probably just rather cancel into a special. If you punish or interrupt the high with this string, you get a crushing blow. It launches, granting a pretty rewarding juggle opportunity. Three, 4 is a string from her stand 3. The first hit is high, and the second hit is an overhead. It's only -8 on block, barely punishable. It cancels, and it's Mileena's strongest 2-hit cancel. In juggles, it's quite reliable and very powerful. Back 3-4 is Mileena's other low string. It's 2 lows, and unlike towards 2-3, it's actually safe on block. It doesn't cancel, so it's only good for its low properties. Towards 4-3 is the string from Mileena's advancing mid. It's an overhead, but pretty unsafe on block, and it won't cancel. It works in juggles, but it's not optimal. Confirming out of towards 4 into specials is usually better than this ender. But it does have a couple uses I'll talk about later. Mileena has 3 specials naturally. The first is Psyblast, back forward 1. It's a pretty standard fireball for MK. Quick startup, good damage, and high. The damage is tied for highest of her regular special moves, and it's pretty combo friendly. The enhanced version adds damage, and the following pair of Psy are lows. It's a true string all the way through. The pushback is extremely high. Even though it's -14 on block, most characters won't be able to punish this even if you do it point blank. So you can use it to make certain things safer. The second is Teledrop, down down 3. Mileena dropkicks onto you from the sky. It's a real teleport, so you can use it to punish fireballs and things like that. But it's unsafe on block, and if blocked you can't enhance it. And it's horribly slow. It doesn't really work in most juggles. When you enhance it, it does more damage. It swaps sides, but you can hold forward and Mileena will keep the same side. The final special is Ball Roll, back down 4. Mileena rolls at you. As you'd expect, it's horribly unsafe on block. And it's a mid, not a low. It's actually low profile all the time it's traveling. As I've shown, enhancing it creates a juggle state. As such, this is the special you're generally trying to confirm into, since it's the most rewarding on hit. If the opponent breaks it before you can enhance it, you can't enhance it even if you try, which is good because you get to keep the offensive meter. But if they break it after you enhance, you don't even get a juggle into down 2 or something. It's fast enough to work in juggles, but it swaps sides. This can be good or bad depending on whether you're putting your opponent or yourself into the corner. I have nothing much to say about her Fatal Blow, except it's fast enough to work even in deep juggles. I'm just going to show a few sample B&Bs here, then I'll start talking about our customs. Soaring Sai is an air fireball. If done low enough to the ground, it will hit standing opponents. But it will never hit crouchers. Still, this is quite good for screen control, since it slows approach considerably and it's hard to jump over. Enhancing it makes it recover faster and allows Mileena to juggle out of it, but it's pretty restrictive outside the corner. Low Psy Blast is a low fireball that replaces your normal Psy Blast. Mileena is immune to highs while throwing it. You obviously can't neutral duck low fireballs, so this is much better at controlling space than her normal Psy Blast. It's generally bad or outclassed in juggles. But it's good in fireball wars. Especially good because the enhanced version has a crushing blow if you counter or punish the opponent's high attack, most notably other fireballs. She loses the massive pushback of her normal enhanced Psy. Many things can punish even the enhanced version of low Psy on block. It has a bit of synergy with her overhead strings, where you can cancel to this low instead. Down back 1 is Psy Slide. Mileena slides the Psy along the ground and then sends it straight up. If you hold the button, she'll slide it farther before recalling it. I don't know what to make of this one. She's eventually crouching while throwing it. But it takes a while to get there. Obviously it can catch people trying to jump over it. But the startup is really long. Enhancing it makes it hit again on the way down. The enhanced hit will always track, even if the original Psy missed. If the enhanced Psy is a counter hit or punish, you get a crushing blow for increased damage. It seems difficult to set up. It's too slow to combo from any of Mileena's starters. And it won't work in juggles. Stabby Scotch, forward down back 2, is a command grab. The opponent can't tech this, so on the ground it's just an improved throw, but the damage is a bit lower and it always swaps sides. In juggles, it does more damage than any of Mileena's other enders, so it's quite good. Enhancing it adds 40 damage and keeps the original side. If you broke armor with it, or catch a wake-up roll with it, the enhanced version gets a crushing blow for huge damage. The most useful application of this is catching a breakaway with it. This is one of her best customs, I think. Up down 2 is Vanish. It costs a defensive gauge to even use, and you can still see where Mileena is. It doesn't last too long. Also, you do less damage while it's active. Still, it's quite good because it makes the startup of her lows and overheads pretty unreactable. Rolling Thunder replaces Ball Roll. It has a higher hitbox and more damage, and looks like Enhanced Roll from MKX. Unfortunately, the gravity scaling is a bit higher, so the juggles you get out of it are worse. If you want to, you can hold the button to get regular roll instead, so you can still do all your normal combos. Roll with no variation won't quite go full screen, but Rolling Thunder's normal roll does. If you release the button at any point before you hit, Mileena will do the jump then. Air Teledrop lets you do her teleport mid-air. This is somewhat more combo friendly than the ground version. Sadly, even if you pick Air Sai as well, you can't use it after hitting. The properties don't really seem changed at all from the ground version, so I don't have much to say. Playtime adds 3 new strings for Mileena. The first, 1, 1, 1 plus 3, ends in a comboable throw. The opponent has to neutral duck to get out of this, which gets beaten by Mileena's 1-1-2 string. Sadly, it's very juggle unfriendly. Towards 2, 3, 1 plus 3 as a third hit to Mileena's low punch string. I think the main selling point of this string was the crushing blow, but this does offer Mileena a lot of meterless damage from a low starter, I guess. It's still really unsafe on block. You also have towards 4, 3, 1 plus 3. On block, it's a pretty safe mid. The damage is pretty good, I guess. On the ground, you'd rather cancel the roll, and mid-air, you'd rather use a different ender. You can enhance it, and it'll restand the opponent. It doesn't seem to do anything besides leaving them standing for a mix-up. The other interesting thing about this string is it makes it so Mileena's towards 4-3 doesn't slam. This gives you new combo routes both on the ground and in juggles. The last one is probably the weirdest. Condom Dash is another special that can replace roll. Unlike roll, it's a real low, so you can mix up your overhead strings with it. But it's unsafe on block. Holding the button makes Mileena run longer. And you can cancel the run for 1 defensive bar by hitting down down. This theoretically gives her a run stop, but the recovery is too long to really make it potent. Unlike roll, enhancing it doesn't grant a launch. Instead, it just does more damage. And you can enhance it a second time to get more damage still. Even with the double enhance, it's significantly weaker than her enhanced roll combos. I might be missing something big, but this one seems pretty useless to me. That's all I've got for this video. What are your favorite customs for Mileena? Leave a comment below and share your tech.